Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to the Dark Future. So the scene opens up, if with a quick recap of the previous sessions. Um, we kind of did a backwards in time parallel story moment, where Meridine was with the Holy Rollers, um, Lesson, Trench, and other road runners had to track down a rogue hacking operation that was trying to steal funds from the betting location, and bunch of low-level thugs, and yeah, they're we open up this at the clubhouse, I guess you can call it
Yeah,
that.
like everyone is partying and all that.
Yeah,
Kitty's
so everyone's
getting drunk.
right. So everyone's yeah, Kitty's getting drunk. Maradine is
Mostly in the corner, like just. But well, I guess Kitty would be with Meridine.
yes, I would assume.
That's the buds.
And yeah, at this point you see Trench come in with Leo, and everyone hears the news about how those two took out a dudes by themselves. Kitty, of note, you hear that there was some sort of remote hacking operation happening out there. So there's a whole pile of computer equipment.
I sure hope nobody just shot it at randomly, thinking that was the best way to turn it off.
You hear that someone yanked out some cables and disabled it, so you already know it's damaged. But as far
Well,
as
at
you
least
know,
it's not exploded, so that's
right.
better than nothing.
Trench, did you bring that stuff back, or did you leave it out there?
What is that stuff?
The equipment.
The computer equipment.
Yeah, I assume we brought it back. I thought that was the point.
Okay, no, I'm just asking. So yeah, in the back truck of one of the Doom buggies, if you want to see Kitty.
Well, it's a little busted up.
Yeah,
I don't suppose it's actually working at this moment, given what's happened to it.
No, it's not only did they just unceremoniously just yank some random cable, you know what I'm saying, which totally fried the unit, but it's been sitting in the back of this thing for the whole trip. No one bothered to cushion it or anything, so you're pretty sure it's not high quality equipment to begin with. It's serviceable. You could probably salvage a lot of it, memory and CPUs and hard drives and whatnot.
Right,
but
that's going to be really important when we want to actually set up a stable server and not just like use antiques here.
Right, so you
that's
got
just like add top of our materials now.
You do have now, I will say, you'll have a bunch of electronics equipments which Meridine could salvage, and you now have resources which, if you remember, you're going to need if you want to back up that AI that's sitting on the second floor.
Oh, I thought I just needed to back it up straight to my device.
No, you don't have enough resources on your cyber deck.
Okay.
You would need to jerry rig some sort of portable storage device, like a network attached storage device, to just download the code to it.
Yeah, like how many memory units are we talking here?
Ridiculous. Like I said, it was using every last bit of resources that was still running in the server just to stay functional. So it's literally like you would have to, like, in technical terms, you probably would have to like compress it just to fit it in some sort of portable storage device. That's how complex the code is.
Well, I mean, like, it exists on machine right now, and that should have a technical amount of space. So just figuring out how much space I need to actually throw it into something.
You figure you could. It would still require a fair amount of technical skill to get the whole thing working together. But you figure with this leftover networking equipment and computing equipment, you now have enough to slap together something, and you can download the code onto it. However, it's highly unstable, so you could succeed and it might still fail, kind of situation.
Yeah, while Kitty went to look after like the parts and all that, Meridine like stayed inside. Since she just want to relax.
Okay, is that all you're doing? You're just relaxing?
Yeah.
Meridine.
Well,
Paradine, I need you to
what?
go out and check those sensors. It's tomorrow. You said you would.
I checked most of the sensor, and well,
Well, I mean,
there's
did you check the ones that are actually like around the entire park, or did you just do the walk around the building?
I used the car to go check every sensor that was supposed to be there, and
Let's just say in the process of doing all this exploration, you asked around, and a lot of people do remember seeing all these little weird devices lying all over the valley, but most of them are destroyed. They've been most of them they've just scrapped for parts. You know, they didn't even know what a quantum computer was, so you just imagine a lot of them were just melted down for
mm,
scrap metal. You know what I'm
uh,
saying? So yeah, the sensor array that was referenced in the corporate network doesn't exist anymore. You might find a tripod or something out there, but you're not going to find any working units out there.
Right, which is why I was going to propose we need to see what we can salvage from what's out there that's left, if anything at all,
well, I
and then see what we can
guess
salvage off of the our Roadrunner friends here, so that we can get at least like some sort of security going on, like at least motion sensors, or more if you think you can handle it.
You want to set that kind of. Oh, there's no way to do that. They don't have any kind of centralized power. A lot of it's run off backup generators. Like the building runs on its own power supply,
Hmm.
but there's no way to set that up.
I
Fine
mean,
with
there's
what
batteries and solar panels. Those at least exist, and
that
the
would
things that
take
were out there in the first place like had to be powered somehow.
that would take days to set up and plan out. And basically, the Roadrunner solution to that is they just have a bunch of guys patrolling the region. They go out
I
and
mean, like
patrol.
we got 2 weeks here, right?
You don't know how long you have. I mean, you could start it up if you want. Yeah, you can.
Like,
You can
remind me like
suggest
what
that.
our exact mission is here.
Your exact mission is to help out the Roadrunners. They're apparently someone
that's
is. So,
basically all of it.
So,
and
like,
you've
as
heard
a
you've
generic
heard.
help them out thing, which is to increase their security. I mean, taking a couple days
Specifically,
on it doesn't sound bad.
I get that. No, you're right. Roger, you're certainly free to do it. Like I said, I'll just remind you that specifically there has been someone who's been threatening them to leave.
Mhm.
So far, being that this is actually technically like the first evening you guys spent with them, you haven't threat yet, but everyone's talked about it.
That's why Marilyn
So
would say like, for tonight, let's just relax.
Oh, we gotta do work.
Uh,
We got a whole day. You drove around
uh,
yesterday, now we gotta do work.
no, it's still evening. It's like you think about this, it's like 10, 11 o'clock.
Oh, I thought like we already went through
We'll
that
get
whole evening.
closely. We'll get close. We're going to get closely to the next day soon. Trust me.
Okay.
that's
And
why
Alright,
she
so,
wants to
tomorrow.
bed to relax.
Tomorrow, then.
yeah, I'm just going to let you know that with this piece of equipment, you're pretty sure you have a pretty good estimate. You could probably ask around if anyone else has other computer equipment they can lend you
I think
and utilize for it.
it would
But
be surprising
between you and Meridine, you think you can make whatever you have with you right there work.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And while we're trying to make that work, Trench can handle the current physical security that needs to happen, and, well, that'll just be essential until we get this set up.
Right, exactly. And so as you guys go back into the party, everyone's having a good time. Roger's, very full of himself at this point. He's happy as shit with you guys so far. He's just like, wow, man, Razor really pulled through, man. You guys have really been saving my bacon on this. He's like, with the amount of scratch I made on this little event, I'm gonna be able to keep upgrading the car. He's like, it's just wish you knew where the hell Jonas went. And he just looks around at the party, but he can't seem to find him. But he doesn't care. He's more than happy to talk to you, Maridine, about all his racing plans, ambitions, and the upgrades to the racing circuit and all this other bit. And while this is going on, literally right in the middle as he's talking to you about all his little machinations, you hear a very loud and pronounced clapping noise a little bit off in the distance, and then you see Roger shake over, and you see this guy approach you in a little circle of couches in your little VIP section, and Immediately, you see Roger's face change, and under his breath, he goes, "How the fuck did he get in here?"
Do we have a picture, or at least?
I don't have a picture. I'll just describe him to you. He's a fairly young-looking man. He's got a crew cut. He wears another trench coat.
Okay, that's the guy that been threatening him. Then.
Yeah, you could tell right away this is the guy Roger's been talking about. Like I said, he's very well looking. He's very handsome.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
And he basically just has this smile on his face as he's walking up, and he's just like, Roger, Roger. He goes, wow, this has been a really exciting night for you guys. And he kind of like takes one of the empty stools and he kind of sits on it, and he goes, man, that was an exciting race. He goes, man, really lucky you got that replacement driver at the last minute, though. He didn't even hurt your odds at the betting. And Roger goes, how the fuck did you get in here?
Yeah, yeah. Meriden will say, "Did you bribe the guard or something?"
He goes, "Oh, come on, man. The whole Pax Numata thing. It's cool." He puts his hand on. Listen, man, I'm not here to cause any trouble. I'm just here to talk. I thought this is what your nomads did. This was supposed to be like, parlay or palavar or whatever the hell else other terminology you want to have. So why don't we just have a civilized talk like civilized man? What do you say?" And you see Roger sit back down a little bit. And he goes, "I guess it doesn't hurt to talk." He goes, he his head over, and one of the roadrunners gives this guy a glass, and he's like, no, it doesn't. He waves away, goes, doesn't agree with my constitution, and walks off, and he goes, and he goes, you come back here. Roger's looking at me like, you come back here to tell me I gotta move out of my home? The guy goes, listen, man, we've been back and forth through this whole time. This ain't your land. And you know that at any moment anyone could come in here and take it.
Whose land is it then?
He goes,
this place got abandoned years ago.
Let's just say there's certain interested parties who wish to remain nameless, who don't want you here anymore. And Roger goes, listen, man, I've been through this a million times before. Unless you got some sort of eviction notice, and like, listen, Roger. He's like, Roger, don't you get it, man? He goes, if I could come here with a court order, I would. The fact that I'm coming here without one and telling you got to leave anyway should tell you the kind of people I represent. And he looks around at everybody, goes, man, I feel for you, man. It seems like you put your heart and soul in this place. And he goes, I hate to see a good man go without nothing. He goes, but I got to be honest with you, man. I got no stake in this game. Tell you the truth, he whispers down kind of low. He goes, I kind of told my bosses I'd just rather call it a napalm strike on the whole goddamn place. But, they got their little PR people and business, and I don't know, it's just a bunch of boardroom conversations, and I kind of just dialed out. So they just told me that they just rather you leave quietly. I'm gonna have to make you leave. And all I can tell you right now, leaning back on the stool, is my bosses are getting very, very impatient. Roger, we're gonna keep playing this game. Bad News Bears over here, and he points to Maridine and Trench and Kitty, are going to pull you out of this frying pan. You think about all those people out there in those camps, because if I roll in here with a couple of attack helicopters, ain't going to be no more negotiations. And he goes, that's all I came to say. And he gets up, really throw a party. Not quite my kind of scene though. So I didn't mean to interrupt your festivities. So I'm gonna let myself out now. But you think about what I told you, and you get back to me. I'll be seeing you soon. And you see him slowly walk off the way, and as he's looking around, you just see him like just looking around, and he's like this very amused look on his face, like he's just, you could tell in his mind he's just like, this place could be on fire and everyone could be dead, and he would not care. And so Roger goes, sits back and he goes, "That's the guy."
What a pleasant man, huh?
Oh yeah, he's a ray of fucking sunshine, that dude. He
And
goes,
how did he walk in?
I just snuck in. I mean, put a trench coat over him, put something, I don't know. He goes, this wasn't exactly the kind of situation where he could have done anything anyway. That's what I've been dealing with. Won't tell me who he works for, but he's definitely giving me the impression that I need to take him seriously.
I'm sure he's working for a corporation or something.
Yeah, I just can't figure out for the life of me who it is. And so he looks, as the guy leave, he sees the guy leave, and he tells one of the road runners, like, make sure he gets out and he doesn't
Wait.
come back.
Kitty,
Yes.
we have no confirmation that, you know, the girl that the AI is based on,
Mm-hmm.
that she's dead, right? Maybe there's a chance that she found her own corporation and she's trying to get this land back to continue her project.
I don't think she's dead. I think, though, at most the recordings indicated she may have been fired.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop her to gain enough success to make her own corporation. And since this project was dear to her, she's trying to get the land back to continue it.
I don't think that she was hiring others to clear this place out to get this little piece of tech, that she threatened to firebomb the entire valley. That seems a little counterproductive to her goals, if that was the case.
Well, the guy might be bluffing about the Naples thing. If the one that I am really wanted to have to have a sleeve, I don't think they would have tried to make Roger leave peacefully.
Well, dare to compare at the very least. If anyone even knew about it, all they would have to have done is just walk in there and take it. I don't think anyone would have noticed. No, they're definitely after property.
And you're
or
right,
something
Kitty.
bigger, maybe the black site.
Anyone could have opened that door, gone in there, and probably with just a halfway decent set of equipment, have taken that AI at any moment. Certainly, none of the Roadrunners here had any
Could
idea.
have gone in with a dolly and just wheeled it out.
Yeah, they could have any moment. No one would have even had a clue what was up there. I mean, even Roger's kind of looking at you halfway when you describe it, and you're just like, "What? You mean that stupid greeting thing that we all make fun of?" Like, they had no idea what it was.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a bunch of gearheads. They're just a bunch of motorheads and gearheads. They don't.
That's why Meridane is saying that to Kitty, because they are the two only people that saw the recording.
Right, but what I'm saying is that the AI was a side project that got far out of hand and out of scope.
Yeah.
What they're probably more concerned about is the black site, which would be worthwhile to investigate and try to find. Definitely has something that they don't want others to have. So let's have it.
Yes, but
we also have to actually stay around here and do our mission.
Yeah, but we need first to find it. Second, to find a way to open it. And
well, if you do another drive around the valley and you work up on all the sensors, maybe you could end up seeing if anything's out there.
I already looked out the sensor. They are all bust up or take down for scrap.
When I said look at, I mean repair them and get something working.
I don't have the equipment and the parts to repair them.
Well, that's just another part of our job then, isn't it?
All right, so the party is pretty much, peak party,
Bust.
11 midnight. You have the option of wandering around and asking some questions. You can ask questions of Roger. You can go to sleep if you want to. Yeah. What do you guys want to do? Trench, what are you doing?
Just watching.
Okay.
What can I do? I might poke Trent and ask him to watch where that person could have possibly snuck in from.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna
see-
ask.
Trench, you know with this type of setup that basically anybody with like a just put them over their heads and snuck in with a crowd of people and just
I thought there was a security wall to the central area.
yeah, this is pretty much open. You know, for this type of deal, it's pretty much just open. That's what I said. That's why they have this rule, this hospitality rule, because it's like, yeah, trying to set up security for something like this is ridiculous. So they just have this rule in place.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask Trench if he could like show me where they found like the rogue group, because we really want to search them. Well, the corpse.
The corpses got brought back. Remember?
Yes. So
Yeah.
we can go over that. When you look at the equipment and the leftover corpse, the Roadrunners identify them as this group of nomads. They're not nomads. It's like a booster gang. They're called the Vultures, and then you see they have all kinds of like bird beaks and bird feather kind of regalia amongst their clothing, and they just say they're like a local gang. They always stir trouble. You know, there's always gang strife between different areas of the region, although they're not the group. They're not in the area that the attacks on the road are happening from. So, but he's like, yeah, this is something they do all the time. Or if it's not the Vultures, it's the Thunderbolts, it's the freaking Roadkill. Someone's always trying to like do something silly. And like you remember in the last session, the network guys explained that normally what they do is because the area network is so small, it would literally have to be, you know, within sight of the facility for you to do this type of hack. And it's just they happen to find the one spot that you couldn't look at directly. And that's really just, you know, someone was really, really patient and just figured out the sweet spot. But typically you would have to be like in a, you know, any other place, you'd be standing in an open field doing it, and someone would be able to see what you were doing in like 5 minutes. That's really what happened. But yeah, these Vultures, they're a booster gang that come from a nearby town. They're called, ironically enough, it's called Canyon Brook. And
what do they have in their pocket?
just random stuff. They're like a biker gang. They're like a road gang. They just got random shit, not a lot of money. Just standard equipment. If you want a list, I'll give it to you. But you know, there's nothing of note aside that they're Garden Brook. You see a couple of Garden Brook driver's licenses and registration information. But other than that, you don't see anything else.
Why nothing can be easy?
So, like I said, you have a choice. You can go around and ask for some more questions. You can call it a night, and we'll go over to the next morning. The choice is yours.
I can't quite think of anything to ask other than where the group might have more stuff that we can use to build some things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we could still go into the town where the other group was. Well,
I think that was a few hours drive, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a couple hours from here. It's on the other. It's literally on the other side of the like on the other out of the canyon, pretty much. It's not nearby. Trench, you gonna do anything?
Just keep watch all night.
Yeah, well, Meridian is going to say, Trench? Trench?
What?
What do you think we should do?
Whatever you want.
Hmm?
Can you hear me? Okay, never mind. Try
Yeah.
the Skype.
Yeah, I think
Skype voice thing went to red, so I thought maybe my
not the Skype at the connection, but yeah, I think everyone got a drop.
It's fine. I said whatever you want.
Well, you're the one with more experience in it. What would you suggest that we do?
Stay here.
Stay here.
All
I
right.
am just
So, like I
going
said,
to keep watch over the night.
I'd recommend maybe seeing what you can do to fortify the building that our priority target stays in.
No point.
I mean, if a fight's gonna happen, it's gonna happen there.
Right. It's better to be on the move than it would be to stay fortified in one position, especially given the resources available out here in this location. Any
I'll better make
structure
sure
that
their
he might be
cart is
stuck
fortified
in
then.
doesn't matter.
and Meridine, you know that typically most nomads, if they ever get threatened like this, they literally just pack up and go. Like they can pack up in minutes and escape. Even though Roger's a little out of practice for it, it's typically what they react to. Like they're not going to stand and fight. Now, how long it actually takes for them to do this and leave, that's a whole other open question because Roger's kind of been sedentary for the last few years. So it's not like a typical nomad party where they can literally just, flip up the doors, fold down the tents, and drive off, So, but yeah, Trench is absolutely right. They wouldn't stand and fight. They just do a delaying action and leave.
To be honest, I think we're just going to go rest, and Meridine is going to go rest in building 4. I should
Okay.
have take like our sleeping bag. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. They cleared out some space for you over there as guest quarters. So.
The building 4. It's the one with the AI.
Okay, that's cool. You could totally do that. I don't have a problem.
I recall there was a couch. I think I'm taking that.
All right. Okay, so as you guys, Trench patrols for the night without incidents. The party that goes on well into the night. As such things you would probably imagine. Just most people start passing out, and the night goes without incident. As the morning rises again, you're awakened to a sight of debauchery and mayhem as passed out bodies are everywhere. People are still shuffling out in their walk of shames. Back out into wherever their homes are.
Is the only guy still there?
Which guy?
The other runners.
Oh no, they left. They're
Oh.
super religious. They don't go for this thing at all. Like they as soon as the race was over, they packed up and left. Like cursed the Sodom and Gomorrah that you guys are and ran off.
I mean, there was one good man in Sodom.
and so yes, you're right. And so yeah, as you approach Roger, you can see, even though you can tell he's also a bit hungover, but as the leader, he's got to be in charge. So he's trying to set up things for the morning, and he's barking orders, he's drinking his coffee, and he's having his breakfast. He goes, didn't party as much as everyone else did. He sits you down. They serve you breakfast. As you're sitting there, you hear quickly that basically he's setting up a digging crew. Yes, he's digging a well out in the valley somewhere. Obviously, water is a premium out here in the wasteland. And so he's got a couple of guys out there digging holes, and he thinks he's found a place where he can get. And that's currently what the agenda is for the day. However, within a few minutes, you start hearing that a lot of the guys that he had kind of earmarked for this job, they're not capable of doing it because they're all sick. And at first, Roger gets real mad because he's like, shit, you guys shouldn't be drinking that much. You guys knew you had work today. Like, this is bullshit, And in a couple of minutes, a couple of the foremen are like, no. They're sick with something else. Like, they're not feeling well. Like,
don't tell me that the guy poisoned the water.
And so they don't know. I mean, if you want to ask that, no, he goes, what do you mean they don't feel well? He goes, well, a lot of them got like splitting headaches, but they've been having them for like 2 or 3 days straight. And, one guy is kind of getting like some breathing problems. and we're waiting on the local doctor to come here. He's not going to get here for a couple of more days, but they're like, no, I want drinking. Maybe they caught themselves a bug or something. I don't know. And Roger's like, no, that's bullshit. Those guys are sneaking in that freaking hood. Now they're drinking the fucking race fuel in the back. I told them to stop doing that shit. And he goes, go find me some other people and get it done today. I don't want to hear no people are sick bullshit. And the foreman's like, all right. And he goes, okay. And then they point a location on the canyon where they're digging the hole. That's basically what's up.
Can I get a quick reminder of something? What is our mission again?
Your mission is to protect these
Roger,
guys.
I think.
What's the time frame of said mission?
You don't know yet.
Undefined.
I'm pretty sure that we didn't get hired forever.
Yeah.
Oh. And number two, like I said last night, Reed pretty much is saying, like, we're not going to have too many more conversations. So this is getting up to a head somehow, some way. You don't know. You're not. I mean, it's whatever you guys think it is, but that's what Reed.
I'm assuming there's some sort of contract, wouldn't there? Where's Ricky? Where the hell is Ricky?
So
I don't know.
I'm asking in character. Where is Ricky?
Yes. Well, Mary didn't say the same. I don't know.
We could say Ricky went off to try to get some supplies.
That fuckhead.
So the way I see it,
he's the one that brought us here and is ditching us.
Kitty, go ahead.
Well, the way I see it, today we still have a number of tasks. Trent still has to keep his eye out for the target. We have a number of mechanical tasks to do, and I can't get on to any of my tasks until all of the mechanical tasks are done, or at least I can only do them as they're done. Because hooking up any sensors that we set up or cameras has to be hooked up to some sort of central system, and we still need a central system that is actually functional.
And we still need the part for it, which I don't have. You set that up.
Well, we have several broken servers here. An AI is sprawling through one of them, and we have this broken cyber deck here. So we need to create a portable storage system for the AI, then use whatever's left of the servers to cobble together at least a functional one, which should be possible. Not everything in there can be broken.
Right.
You're way too much optimistic.
So,
well, at the very least, it gets me something to do while you roam around and throw motion sensors around.
All right. So as you guys are planning this out, guys, and Roger is winding up his, task for the day, you see one of the other roadrunners run up in a panic, and he's like, Roger, what the fuck is it now? And he goes, Jonas. He goes, I found Jonas. He goes, really? Where the hell did you find that boy? He goes, you hear him under his breath, like, when I get my hands on that kid, I'm gonna fucking throttle him. And he goes, he's been shanghaied. And he goes, what? He goes, yeah, man, they kidnapped him last night. He goes, what do you mean kidnapped? Where did they kidnap him from? He wasn't supposed to be anywhere. He goes, yeah, he snuck off to Canyon Brook. And last thing I heard, he tried to shack up with some chick last night, and he ain't been heard from since. He goes,
well, the good news is, if this guy found him, that he's no longer kidnapped. Case solved.
Well, no, that's the whole thing.
Mission accomplished. That's why you're the best, Trent.
The last
Walk
thing anyone
away,
saw
building explodes behind me, and I don't look back.
Exactly. And so, yeah, the story goes, last night he snuck off with a couple of his buddies to go to this nearby town. They were partying at this bar, and at a certain point, he broke off with the rest of his friends because he wanted to spend the night with this girl. And even though they were like, yeah, that's not a really good idea, bro, he kind of just didn't care and ditched them. And so that's the last place they saw him. And this place is notorious for basically kidnapping people. Catfishing, I think it's called. And so, yeah, that's pretty sure. And then Roger explains to you that Jonas, while being a very excellent and absolutely stellar race car driver, has about as much common sense as a can of paint, and it literally thinks with his dick. And
Yeah,
get
a
him
lot,
go
a lot, a lot of men think that
right.
way.
And so, yeah, it's just like, yep, they knew exactly what to go for, and they probably didn't see him coming. He probably didn't see them coming. And so, yeah, and so Roger's like, oh, fucking shit, I don't have time for this today. I don't have time to send 20 guys over there to go running around this fucking and he goes, all right, you guys got to go get this kid back. He goes, I leave him to it. It's like I should just leave him to his own fate. He goes, but I owe his mama a huge favor, and the boy can drive. And he goes, if it wasn't for he wasn't for the way he fucking drove the car, I'd have just leave him there. He goes, go get him, please. I need him back. Meriden, you already know, because part of the plan, part of his is to set this kid up as a legitimate race car driver. So a lot of what he's planning is dependent on this kid winning races.
Okay,
So,
well, Meridian's going to look at the group and say, well, I guess we could try to go and get him, then make an improv shopping list at the same time.
No.
Well, it sounds really unfortunate for him, but it also doesn't quite sound like our problem if we're not being paid to do that.
It's not
I
our
don't know. You'll
mission.
get. I mean, this
Well, I
is
mean,
all
we're
part
already here on a mission to be paid to protect
Yes,
you
but
here,
Roger,
Roger.
Roger assures you that anything that you do on his behalf, you will get credit for.
Also, the
So-
big
and-
bad just came by and threatened the place, so yeah, why don't we just go off to another town? That sounds perfectly reasonable and an intelligent thing to do. No.
Exactly. You're on the ball on this one, Trent.
While me, I need equipment, parts, and the
You
guy
have
that...
fun, Meriden. You go out there, you play the rolled up toilet paper. Have fun.
So, like I said, Roger's asking you guys, like, he doesn't have the manpower or the ability to do it. The only way he could do it was to literally roll in there with a whole squad of people and start like a turf war over it. And he's not what he's in that right now. So,
I'm not sure we're capable of doing that right now, if I'm going to be honest.
I am
well, you would if
eminently-
if
We
Lessons,
would if we had a
Lessons
talker with us.
and Ricky was in the squad. Yes, there would be. That was my intention all along. So, but like I said, that is something that you guys need. He is asking you to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Roger is there going, I need this to happen.
Out
Like,
of character, would love to go there and murder some fools. In character, that's fucking stupid. I'm not gonna do that. What's that? We're here to protect a guy. What's
Well,
that? Last night, dude just came and threatened him.
Well, I cannot do anything unless I get the part to make the sensor.
Yeah,
All I
and
can tell
unless
you
we
is-
get our other solo around, it's like I definitely trust Trench to stay here and protect Roger because it's not like I'm going to be here taking a bullet anyway. But
Well,
me and
I'll tell
Merdine
you-
going off into town to a spot where people are regularly kidnapped seems like a recipe for the two of us to get kidnapped.
that's true too. Out of story, I would probably just have you guys play a couple of extra characters just to bulk up the party, so it's not just Trench and the two of you with
Right,
no.
well, yeah, like if we had
You
another
know.
solo, I'd be like, okay, maybe we could split the solos up and that
I
could
was
be
really
okay.
hoping that Lesson was here, but like I said, in lieu of that, I would let you guys play another character that's combat oriented, so you're not completely, you understand what I'm saying? I would offer you guys, so don't worry about that
Yeah.
part. I'm not gonna have the three of you just roll into this town with no backup.
That is an interesting point, though. Whenever we have to get in combat, they can just put on alternate identities of combat characters. But if I need to hack
Yeah.
something, I don't get a hacking NPC.
So,
Well, I
sadly,
mean, like, if we start protecting, like, the gang of nerd hackers, then I guess, like, yeah, you know, we could have hackers, like, all over the place helping with stuff.
yeah, that would be an interesting question when
It's just like the
Meriden-
people we're hanging around right now, at the very least.
Meridine and Kitty decide not to play for a session, I would have to make up a techie and a netrunner character for someone to play for the moment. Which thankfully I made it NPC, so I guess I solved that
Anyways, what
problem.
happens after Joshua gets executed?
What happens? There's only two options. Either they're gonna sell him to slavery, or they're gonna sell him for body parts.
All right, what happens after that? We're not going after him. That's apparently the long and short of it. So, what happens
And
after
like I
that?
said,
Unless we like delay the
and then-
session and go for and try to pick up one of the other two next time. That's the only other option. The other option.
do that, we could do that too. Like I said, at this point, yeah, you guys are too short, and I planned this whole thing out with at least four of you, or at least the five of you, and yeah, it's becoming way more complicated without the other two players. So if you want to call it early and then talk about what you want to do, I will explain to you certain terms that without Jonas, Roger is done.
That's fine.
Well,
I'm
What-
also
what-
not getting
whether
paid
he's
to
facing-
care about the long-term societal repercussions of this camp. I'm getting paid to make
Right.
sure Roger doesn't die. That's it.
Yeah, definitely on a mission basis. We don't. While we definitely do care a little bit about the society surviving,
Nope.
we're paid to keep Roger around. Okay, well, I'm doing that because that's the only thing I can do for my job.
Yeah, I literally
So
have
I'll
no
put it-
idea why Kitty's going around trying to repair an AI, and that's not on the mission brief.
Well, to be
I
fair,
will-
the AI is going to be my
It-
personal.
No,
project.
I
will-
understand that from an out-of-character standpoint. In-character, Trench, no idea why you're doing that.
guys.
Doesn't matter to me.
And
So this is the problem, because you're right. The biggest thing here is that this is more Ricky's show, and Ricky would have more times of motivations to explain to you why helping Roger is in everyone's best interest. But in layman's terms, I'll just paraphrase it. What you find out is part of the reason that Razor is even helping Roger is they're doing business. This racing is part of Razor's long-term business plans and strategy.
Right, so they want to keep that out here and keep making money off of it.
And as you've said, Razor is Ricky's connection. So,
Right.
has nothing, means nothing to the rest of us.
But y'all are working for Ricky. So in the voice of, in assuming Ricky's voice, I will say that Ricky would tell you all that you guys are here to do a job and that we work for Razor. And if Razor says we help Roger, we help Roger.
And even if Meridine will want to make like some sensor perimeters or bulk up the defense, like making like some fortify like defense, she cannot because she doesn't have the parts.
And there's definitely a possibility that in Canyon Brook there is equipment that you could buy or acquire to help in that endeavor.
Or just kill the people
Buying might
that...
be off the table until we actually get paid, but, well, I mean, acquiring, there's plenty of firms we can use there.
well, we can kill, Trench can kill the guy the people that kidnap Jonah, and we can take the stuff.
Roger will also tell you that part of the reason why he wants to send you guys out there is plausible
because we're not
plausible
linked for anything.
Out there and murder a bunch of gang members, it's not really going to blow back on him. You know what I'm saying? So he'd rather you guys take care of that, because then it kind of makes it like, okay, nobody knows, no one can really blame me for doing it. But then again, of course, I would go save my guy. So,
and it
it's
all
plausible
rolls
that
back around to the original question: what is the time frame of this contract? Because I did not sell myself out to be a slave to this guy forever.
Well, like I said, Trench, since you have a very high awareness, I will just tell you that your gut's telling you that this is going to come to a head shortly. This isn't going to be weak. You're not going to be weeks out here. You looked at Reed's face. You could tell when he said, I ain't coming back to negotiate again. He meant it.
I mean, don't worry. I thought about killing that guy the moment he sat down and started putting his mouth up.
I was ultimately up there to suggesting it.
Yes,
I had the whole thought process sitting down, when he started getting up, he's like, "I'm stepping this way. You can't say what you want to say to anybody you want to say it to," and then let him land, throw a first punch or something like that. And it's had a slow moment of realization. I don't actually care about these people.
Like I almost wanted to say like when he stood up, I almost wanted to say like Meridian is going to look at Trench.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't lay a blow. He was somewhat insulting, and then he left, and it's like, well, I don't actually care about these people, and he didn't do anything. I don't have to react to everything.
Yeah, I guess we can postpone.
If you want to postpone it so that Ricky and Lesson are here, so you guys can.
Yeah, I think it would be better. Yeah, it would be
because I will tell you, I set up a scenario over there that will require a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, so it's better that we are all here.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that I could kill anybody.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense for me to do that.
Yeah.
Well, you're being paid to do it. That's.
I'm being paid to protect this guy. I'm not getting paid to.
We still gotta direct you to the people who you can kill, though.
And you're getting
kill the whole city.
Well, you'll
kill the kidnappers somewhere in there.
Well, you get bonuses for the people that you killed.
Right, but if the guy who's bankrolling the Endeavor, or the person that was specifically told to protect die, then what does that matter? How many people I've killed?
Well, like I said, I can paraphrase that for you to say that Ricky called Razor, and Razor told Ricky in no uncertain terms that if Roger says you got to go save his boy Jonas, you got to save his boy Jonas.
Yeah, but that's talking to the guy after the contract has been made. I only signed up for whatever the contract said at case in point. And I think I have enough awareness to go back and remember.
I guess if our face comes here and says, alright, your job is to do what Roger wants for X number of days, and he happens to die while we're doing a task that he told us to do, well, that's just Roger's fault at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the other point. I mean, Razor's not going to blame you if Roger sends you guys out on a mission and, someone comes with a sniper rifle and kills Roger, that there wasn't anything you guys could have done about that.
Naples strike.
That's life. That's life. I mean, if you want me to metagame it with you.
Well, yeah. I mean, at some point when life gets a little too hard and you kill the guy who's giving you the contract, that's also life. Yeah, you know what, Razor? You're being a bit too difficult. You're not waking up tomorrow.
Exactly. So, yeah.
So then I think we're at least slightly resolved on actions, but we still do want our moving parts, I think, right?
Yeah.
We need the face to at least tell us where to go.
And
I'll be around so that I can, open doors and Meridian to the same effect, and... Well, then, Trench and, what's the name of the other solo?
Leo.
Trench and Leo just will kick down the next door and just explode everything in our way.
Keychain is actually his logo.
Like I said, if you want a slight preview, I've set it up so that literally you guys have to set up an operation.
Don't give a preview. Every time, no, more specifically, and Griff knows this, every time a GM has given us a preview of what they intended to do, they leave. So, no previews. If you want us to see what you've got planned, you're gonna have to show us, god damn it.
I will show you. So like I said, it's gonna require a few moving parts.
Yeah, so we should wait next week.
Okay. Make sure you reach out with Ricky.
Yeah, I think we're going to skull a bit at Leo.
And like I said, you're definitely going to have to work together.
Well, me and Kitty, it's all right. It's the Trench and Leo, they're I think good friends now. They've been in a fight together.
Nope.
Right, the parts that have to work most intimately together seem to work very well together already.
Yeah.
So that's already bonus points.
No, it's just Ricky that
you should be more than capable of handling my challenge.
It's just Ricky that is a bit fuck.
Yeah, Ricky is supposed to, at least I see in far as this group dynamic, keep the group together and get the two functional parts of the group working at the same objectives.
Yes, that's how I imagined it. And like I said, it's unfortunate that he had a scheduling conflict, so that's what we've been trying to fill in the gap until. But after that session, I was like, okay, I need to push the story forward because you're right, Trench. it is preposterous that you guys are just sitting here like, how long are we going to do this for? You're right. But truth be told, in game time, you've only been there one night. It's like the next day.
And then 2, because we traveled here one night.
Yeah, we travel here one night, but it's essentially
Actually, this would be day 3 of the entire thing. Because we traveled here, there was the original
We've
thing
been here
with
one day.
Well, no, this is the second day.
Yeah, so this is the second day. So you've only been there one whole day. So in all fairness, it's not been that much time has transpired. This has been going on for a few weeks. So just to give you context. But you're right, Trench. This is not gonna last long. You can already tell by the dude's look on his face, like this is gonna come to a head shortly, one way or another.
Well,
you'll have to convince him for a reason to not.
Well, it's more so that once a contract is agreed to, it's irrevocable. Yeah, irrevocable. So
that's right. So
I'm not going to go back and forth what Ricky says or Razor said that. I don't give a shit what Razor said. The contract is this, and this is what I'm doing. If you didn't want that on the contract, you shouldn't have put it out there.
Just the person who knows the contract the most is the person who's not here.
Well, no, we all agreed to the contract.
Right.
We all had to go through, read it, sign, put the thing onto the thing. Ricky just represents the group in that he's the one that organized the contract. But the contract is still itself the contract. If you go editing the contract, it's not in a contract, it's an agreement.
And even in that framework, that's why I'm explaining to you, this person being kidnapped constitutes a threat to Roger's operation. So,
in an abstract way. Since we're going to take a break or a pause or whatever, and to wait for them to come for the next game, I am going to go back and listen to the old session and hear what the contract was again.
Good idea, please.
So this isn't all ambiguous. I'm going to listen to the exact words, because that's what I do.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said,
I'm just going to keep my hacker plan on pause in case we can possibly do it, but who knows.
Like I said, if we want to, we could talk about that and figure out what needs to be done. Because I've already got a sort of an idea of what you need to do.
Okay.
So we can work it out. And like I said, now that I've played around with the character sheet, like if you look at the journal,
yeah, I looked at that one earlier.
Me rolling all the skill rolls for the programming.
That's what all that was for.
I know it. And if you look at it, you can see the formula, so you can see all the bonuses represented on it. So I was like, yeah, it works. You can totally make it fits. It has just as many the Data Fortress rules allow. You just gotta put some numbers in random places. It just results in a total number anyway. So what does it matter whether it's CPU strength or CPU speed?
Mm-hmm.
So play around with it. See, I know for a fact because I've looked at all those formulas and like, damn, that's a lot of numbers to keep track of for a roll. So that's why I was like, oh wow, this really does work.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on my list of things to do.
And yeah, try out this VTT plugin for your browser.